Hey, my name is Mandy Johnson. I am an athletic trainer, physical therapist, and owner of Renegade Wellness. And I'm here to share kind of the completion of the story where we talked about John and all of the different things that happened with him and his low back pain. We also discussed how low back pain is generally treated, and then also what's recommended by the the American College of Physicians, as well as the American Pain Society, but doesn't typically happen. Uh, we followed that up with a discussion on the lost productivity that John will probably see, even though he'll be at work, he just won't be as productive. And that's not because we should judge John. That's just because his health, he's got other things. We always have stuff like that that goes on in our lives where we don't prioritize ourselves. We prioritize what we need to do for the others in our family. And so that's hard. But how now we can get into, how can potentially a workplace be where we can change some of those things? So, we all know how to get healthy. There's all those thoughts on, look on Facebook. I'm sure there's lots of stuff you can find. So, unless it's broken for 3 hours. But let's just go with, everybody knows how to do it. Everybody knows how to be healthy. In fact, those who are not the perfect weight or are, not exactly how they want to be, have probably tried something. They've probably tried some sort of, random cabbage soup diet. My mom did that a ton, at least 4 or 5 times that I can recall, where she just ate cabbage soup for a couple weeks. And, normally those things kind of work for a little bit, but they don't in the long term because it's not a change of a lifestyle. So, things get busy. Making dinner every night is a pain. Bringing a healthy lunch every day is a pain. All those things just, you're tired by the end of the night. All you want to do is sit. You don't want to think about what you need to do for the next day. You get overwhelmed. And when you start feeling overwhelmed, you defeat yourself before things even get started. So there's so many different resolutions people have made. And by the time you've made, multiple resolutions, odds are you just assume before you even start, you're going to fail. And so you stop making, I'm going to get healthy resolutions completely. And it's just so much more than whispering a couple sentences or thinking a couple good thoughts on December 31st, which is the most common time to make those resolutions. However, there's very realistic ways of achieving little bits of those changes at a time. Luke Skywalker didn't take an online course to go to a 30-minute TED Talk on how to become a Jedi. Luke Skywalker needed a small, steady guide in the form of Yoda to hone his skills, to get in the trenches with him, right? He needed a guide. So Luke Skywalker needed a guide to get him to the place he needed to be, to where he could, defeat the dark side. And that's much the way that a good employee wellness program will be. So what you want to do is have some specific goals that you set up, and we will go through and talk about that, but it's got to be really well planned out and really well thought out. And you need to have those guides with you. It's not just something you read on Facebook that you can share with your employees that'll make the difference. Those quick little tidbits, that quick little oh, I'm just gonna try eating cookies for 30 days. It'll be great. That cookie diet that doesn't work. That's not a thing. And it's instead that person in the trenches with you, working with you to hash out those and break down the things so that people can slowly create that culture, that community of change together. So I know that's a real broad brush, but that's because that's where we're going to go in the very next video. Video number 5 is going to talk about 2 steps to create an effective employee wellness program, and kind of break down a little bit of how you want to get into that. So you can create something that will help John to get out of a little bit of that extra weight he's carrying on him, which will ideally unload his back a little bit, to where he feels better. Maybe it'll help him get a couple stretches that he can do right getting out of bed. That will be helpful for keeping some things at bay. Those real specific in the trenches tips are going to be how we're going to get there. So come back for video 5, where we discuss again those 2 steps to creating an effective employee wellness program. Thanks.